Hi, my name is Mike. I'm a professor for social work management, and you are listening to Managing Around, the bi-weekly podcast about social science, culture, and management. Managing Around is part of the Talk About Organizations podcast network, a community resource and discussion platform for key ideas in management and organization studies, which is supported by our listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Managing Around, where we dive deep into the latest news and trends to help you navigate the ever-evolving world of management, social sciences, and education. Today, we are breaking down a fascinating study that my colleague Mattis Altmann from the TU Dresden and I presented at the GeNeMe 2023 conference titled Exploring Critical Learning Incidents in Collaborative Online International Learning, Implications for Digital Readiness and Learning Design. Don't worry, I'm here to simplify it all for you. I'm Mike, and it's fantastic that you've tuned in to my podcast again. Let's jump in. First, the digital shift and its challenges. The 21st century has witnessed an educational metamorphosis. Traditional classrooms are giving way to digital platforms, where students from different universities, even continents, can collaborate. But this change isn't without its caveats. The transition to a virtual approach to teaching is vast and, until now, not fully understood, especially how space is negotiated in the virtual realm. My colleague Mattis Altmann from the TU Dresden and me took on this challenge, aiming to understand the students' experience in these virtual collaborative environments. We asked the students to tell their learning experiences in self-reflected journals, capturing raw, unfiltered insights into students' perceptions, with other words, the highs and the lows, and everything in between. At the heart of our study were three pivotal concepts. First, the undeniable value of formative feedback in a virtual setting. Formative feedback in the context of our study means that students received suggestions along the way to support their learning and growth. Second, the power of design-based teaching and research, which stresses the iterative testing to refine learning methods. And lastly, the idea of critical learning incidents, those standout moments that help to grasp students' significant learning experience. Let's now move on to the research, findings, and revelations. But how does this all play out in our research? My research colleague crafted a virtual collaborative learning module, an 8-week immersive experience where students tackled complex problems in mixed groups on a Microsoft Teams platform, guided by e-tutors. In this digital sandbox, students had to work on a case study and to create twice a self-reflected journal during and at the end of the module. This provided us with the required data on the dynamics of virtual learning for an in-depth thematic and data analysis. Well, the most anticipated part of any study are always the results. At the outset, one clear revelation, overwhelming positive reception to virtual collaboration. Students cherished the opportunity to work with peers from other universities, finding these interactions both enriching and eye-opening. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing, so to say. Students highlighted technical hiccups, had to face challenges meeting deadlines, and occasional feelings of detachment as barriers to seamless collaboration. Interestingly, these weren't seen as challenges not to overcome, but as areas needing refinements in the virtual collaboration in any scenario. We found that group performance heavily correlated with the process of the group work and the commitment and dedication of the students within the group in order to successfully achieve the learning outcomes. Actually, it's the support and trust of your peers that leads to effective, harmonious teamwork. Above all of that, formative feedback, as anticipated, was a significant factor. Students who received consistent and constructive feedback felt more anchored and directed in their learning journey. Those without it often expressed feelings of being adrift in the vast digital sea. Our quest into students' critical learning incidents proved to be pivotal. These moments of the learning process, whether positive or negative, played a considerable role in shaping students' overall perception of their virtual learning experience. Recognizing and addressing these incidents was identified as a crucial aspect for educators in the digital space. Lastly, the research sheds light on the adaptability and resilience of students. In the face of challenges, many showcased remarkable ingenuity and resourcefulness, further underscoring the potential of virtual learning when guided appropriately. We think that these findings serve not only as a roadmap, but also show pathways to future research about the efficiency of online collaborative learning. Our study, while qualitative, can only be a first step into the complexity of the virtual worlds. It emphasizes the potential of virtual classrooms, the nuances of digital collaboration, and the challenges of formative feedback. Studies such as this act as a compass, guiding our students towards a brighter, more connected learning experience. We come now to the end of this episode, and we end with a summary and the lessons learned. We delved deep into the experiences of students in virtual collaborative learning environments. Through self-reflected journals, we captured the essence of student perceptions, both the positive and the negative aspects. The study underscores the importance of formative feedback, the potential of design-based teaching, and the profound impact of critical learning incidents on a student's journey. Lessons gleaned from the research include the following. First, the value of feedback. In virtual settings, timely, relevant, and supportive formative feedback becomes even more critical to guide students enhance their learning experiences. Secondly, iterative design. Adapting and refining teaching methods based on real-world data can optimize the learning process. And thirdly, and lastly, recognizing pivotal moments. Identifying and addressing critical learning incidents can greatly influence a student's overall educational experience, as these moments often leave lasting impressions. I hope that today's episode will inspire more instructors, also you, to engage in research about your own teaching and contribute to its advancement in higher education. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Managing Around, the bi-weekly podcast about social science, culture, and management. Managing Around is part of the Talk About Organizations podcast network, a community resource and discussion platform for key ideas in management and organization studies, which is supported by our listeners. If you liked this episode, please leave a review on your favorite podcast website. There's also a link in the show notes. If you've got any thoughts on this episode, or if you've got any idea about new podcast topics or questions you'd like to discuss, send me an audio file or voice note to hi@profmanagement.de. For any non-audio comments, drop a tweet or DM to @profmanagement on Twitter or Instagram, please. For more information, visit my website www.profmanagement.de. Thank you for listening and see you next time.